Hello folks. Alright, for this lesson I'll show you how to solve absolute value equations. But first let's recall what an absolute value is. Right? The absolute value represents the distance from 0 on a number line. Okay? So we're going to need that information to solve our absolute value equations. Right? So let's say I have this absolute value equation. The absolute value of 2x is equal to 8. Right? And you might be thinking, alright, what does this mean? Okay, well, this represents, right, the distance from 2x to 0 on a number line is 8 units. Alright, so think of it like this. You have a number line, and the distance from 2x, so let's mark off there are two spots, right, on the number line, with 8 units away, right? You can go on this side, or you can go on the negative side. Okay, so that's what we're trying to find. Where is that located? Okay, this spot here and this spot here. Alright, so let's figure it out. We know we have to split this into two different problems, right? So let's draw two arrows. Right, one of the problems will be take away the absolute value symbol, so you just write 2x is equal to the positive 8. Okay, and then the other one is you write 2x again, but this time it's equal to negative 8. You know, so that's very important. So those are the two different problems that you have to solve, right? So one with the plus and one with the minus, right? So this is just a one-step equation here, so we can easily solve this. So let's divide both sides by 2, and we've got our answer for this side, which is 4, right? So let's circle that. So that's one of our answers here. And the other one, again, it's just a one-step equation. Divide both sides by 2. And we know that this and this crosses. They cross out, so now we're just left with the x. And this time it's equal to negative 4. Okay? So going back to our number line, the location that we're looking for is at 4 and negative 4. Okay, that's where 2x is 8 units away from 0. And you can always check your answer. If you plug 4 into here, right, you get 2 times 4, which is 8, and the absolute value of 8 is 8, so that's right. And if you plug in negative 4 into the original absolute value equation, you're going to get 2 times negative 4, which is negative 8, but you're taking the absolute value of negative 8, which is positive 8. So we're pretty happy, right? We checked both the answers, so we're done. Alright, so let's take a look at this problem here. Let's say we have this absolute value equation. The absolute value of n over 5 is equal to 10, right? We know we're going to have to solve two different problems, right? One with the plus sign, one with the minus sign. So let's go ahead and do the plus signs first, right? So it's going to be n plus 5. Notice I took away the absolute value symbol, right? And make it equal to the positive 10, right? And on this side, it's going to be n over 5, and that's going to equal to negative 10, right? That's very important, right? So let's solve the one on the left first. Now it's just a one-step equation. We just need to multiply both sides by 5 over 1, 5 over 1, right? You do the one side, you do the exact same thing to the other side, right? So here we go. This 5 and this 5, they cancel, and you just have the n equals 50, right? So let's circle that one here. And let's solve this one on this side, right? So I'm going to multiply both sides by 5 over 1, so I can get rid of the 5 in the denominator. So I multiply the left-hand side by 5, so I'm going to do the exact same thing on this side. Boom, boom, right? And this 5 and this 5, they go to 1, so we're good. We just have the n equals negative 50, right? So those two answers, n equals 50 and n equals negative 50, are our answers, right, for this absolute value equation. And we're done. We're pretty happy. Alright, I think we're ready for this one here. Let's say I have the absolute value of v plus 2, but then have a minus 1 outside of the absolute value symbol, right? And then that's equal to, I don't know, maybe 3, right? And now, before I do the split, I want to make sure I get to, for the left hand side, I'll be left with just the absolute value of v plus 2. So the first thing I would do is add this 1 to both sides. Okay, so when I do that, my absolute value equation now becomes just the absolute value of v plus 2, and that's equal to 4. Okay, so now I can do the split, right? So let's mix up the colors a little bit here. So we'll do one where v plus 2 is equal to positive 4. Okay, and then we're gonna do the other one, I'll put it over here, where v plus 2 is equal to negative 4. Okay, so here we go. Minus 2, minus 2, so v is just 2, right? So that's our first answer, right? Do the same thing on this side here. Let me pick a different one here. Let's say minus 2 to both sides, right? And this comes out to v equals negative 6, right? So those answers, right? V equals 2 and v equals negative 6 are the answers to this absolute value equation that we started off with, right? And we're happy. Alright, let's try this problem here. Let's say we have negative 5 outside of the absolute value symbol, right? And then we have 2 plus k, and that's equal to negative 10. Okay, so we have a negative 5 times the absolute value of 2 plus k. Alright, so I want to get rid of this negative 5 first, right? So don't make the mistake of adding 5, because the relationship between negative 5 and the absolute value symbol, or the stuff inside the absolute value symbol, 2 plus k, is multiplication. See the little dot there? Right, so we're going to have to do the opposite, right? So we have to divide by negative 5. Okay, do the same thing over here. Negative 5. Alright, so what happens now? Well, this negative 5 and this negative 5, they go to 1. Right? And this here, this whole thing will just be 2. Right? Negative 10 over negative 5 is just 2. So now we have the absolute value of 2 plus k. Right? And that's equal to just 2. Right? So now I can split up the problem, right? One with the plus sign and one with the minus sign. Right? So again, take away the absolute value symbol, so you have 2 plus k is equal to 2, and then you have 2 plus k is equal to negative 2. Okay, you do this out, it's a one-step equation here, minus 2 minus 2, so we have k is equal to 0, alright? And do the same thing over here, minus 2 minus 2, right? So k is gonna equal to negative 4, right? So the two answers will be k equal to 0 and k equal to negative 4, right? And we're pretty happy. Big smile. Alright, we're almost there. Last problem for the night. So let's say we have the absolute value of 8x plus 2, right? And that's all over 3, and let's make it equal to 2. Right? So we want to get rid of this 3 here. So what I'm going to do is multiply both sides by 3 over 1. So dot 3 over 1. Same thing on this side. Right? The reason I'm doing that is because I want to get rid of this 3 in the denominator. So that 3 and this 3, right? They go to 1, so we're pretty much set. So we just we're left with the 8x plus 2 absolute value, right? And equal, and then that's 2 times 3, so that's 6, right? So now we have the absolute value of 8x plus 2, and that's equal to 6. Okay, so now we can do the split, right? Right, that's the first arrow here, and that's the second arrow, right? So now we can write 8x plus 2, and that's equal to positive 6, and over here we're going to have 8x plus 2, and that's equal to negative 6. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to minus 2, right? So now I'm going to have, might need extra room here, 8x equals 4, right? Because 6 minus 2 is 4. 8x, and then you have the plus 2 minus 2, they go away to 0. So now it's just one step left. Divide by 8, divide by 8. So this goes to 1/2. Okay, so that's our first answer, right? Alright, so now let's do it on this side here. I'm going to minus 2, minus 2. So I'm going to be left with 8x, right, equals, that's going to be negative 8. Okay, so let me finish up over here. So 8x equals negative 8. So I'm just going to divide both sides by 8. So x is equal to negative 1. Okay, so we have our two answers here. So let me write it up here. Right, so x is equal to 1/2, or x is equal to negative 1. Right, and those are our answers. Okay, x equals 1/2 and x equals negative 1. And we're done.